Welcome to Your VR's Smelting 101 video. Today we find ourselves in front of the very first custom-made building in Your VR, our hybrid blast furnace bloomery. It is a hybrid because a bloomery, which was typically used in the Middle Ages, was pretty disposable. You kind of destroyed it after each use. And a blast furnace, which was a little bit rare but huge, and we wanted something a little bit smaller that could produce a molten ore. So I've preloaded two piles here, coal and iron, and we need 10 iron ore and about 4 or 5 coal to make an ingot, but we're going to load it up with 10 coal just to be safe. And I put it in piles ahead of time so you can see how easy it is to use the basket as kind of a Hoover vacuum cleaner to suck up anything that's lying on the ground. Typically our ore would be stored in our infinity piles off to my right there, and those let me store an infinite amount of coal or iron. But it takes a little bit longer to get them out of those piles and into the furnace. So this is a quicker way, and I'm going to save you some time of watching me bend over and dump things into the furnace. So now that we have 10 of each in our furnace, let's go around the side and look at the bellows, because we need to get this furnace over 1500 degrees, and that is what that contraption off to the right is, called the bellow. And you can see the sphere, the blue sphere, and that's a grip indicator. So we want to grip that with one hand and two hands and move it up and down, and that's going to get some air into the smelter and get the temperature up, and it's hot enough you can see a bloom forming, and that's that little red glowing rock there called a bloom. And we're going to go and grab the tongs, make sure to grab them with one hand off the shelf, and then use the other hand and use the trigger to grab the other side of the tong to open it up and then to close it around the bloom. And at this point we have about 12 seconds to get it onto the anvil, grab the hammer from the shelf and hit it 5 times. And what we're doing is we're cleaning the slag off of the bloom. So there's dirty, crusty garbage that's covering this red hot bloom, and 5 hits should clean it off. And after that you won't see any more sparks. You know it's done, so we can pick it up. It's gray and cool now, and throw it back into the furnace. It disappears, don't worry about that. And we're going to work the bellows a little bit more, pumping it up and down to get that temperature back over 1500 degrees, which is the melting point of iron. And you'll see the molten iron pouring out of the furnace into our bucket, which will eventually be replaced by a nice mold for an ingot. And we've got a yellow hot, white hot ingot on the ground there, so we're going to need our tongs again to pick it up. So again, grabbing it with one hand and then grabbing it with the other hand, we're going to go back to our ingot here, and we are going to pick it up and take it over to the barrels, the quenching barrels. Dip it in, you'll hear a nice sizzling, boiling sound as it cools from yellow to orange and then to gray. And now we have a cool ingot. You can take it over to the vendor, sell it, or you can take it to the blacksmith and turn it into a sword or another tool. Hopefully that helps, and any questions, leave them in the comment section below.